Good morning. Was listening to Gabby Bernstein, who's an interesting person. She's got very interesting chats and such. And um, she was sharing some concepts of psychology approaches. I think the one she was sharing was called, I want to say the initials were IFS, but I'd have to remember so I don't. Asu Huda Dowdy from Dubai. I see Abdul Karima. Hello, hello. Nice of you to join us. So, anyway, and one of the comments she shared, she started with, get ready for the greatest shift in your life. Sort of, um, some people might think that's a little bit of a haughty comment. Get ready for the greatest shift in your life. Who says it'll be the greatest? My question is, who says it won't? Really, get ready for the greatest shift in your life. With Reconnective Healing, this is what I share. Get ready for the greatest shift in your life. The miracles will find you. Miracles will find you. And a lot of you already know that with Reconnective Healing, and miracles find all of us in our lives anyway, in many ways. So, what is true healing, and when does true healing come? True healing comes when I stop worrying about it's not considered polite to have a tea bag hanging from your cup. So I'll try to hide it here, but I like my tea bag steeping. True healing comes when? I might suggest that true healing comes when you allow yourself to be in recognition. You know, we can say true healing comes when you reconnect to your infinite, your ever present self. But really, it's when you allow yourself to be in recognition that you are your ever present self and you can't reconnect with it because you've never disconnected. You are it. Oh, thank you for your comment. I see. It looks like I'm going to mess up your name, not intentionally. Palaka Abduma Abdubamai. Okay, well, apologies for your name, but thank you for your comment. It says your book found me and it's been miraculous, which triggered my mind. I forgot to tell you that. Last Thursday, a little less than a week ago, the Direct Path to Healing, the new book, The Direct Path to Healing, came out and is now actually available in audio. So you can go look for that. If you prefer to listen to books, as I do, I prefer to listen to them than to read them, especially when I'm driving. I really like driving and listening. But anyway, so it's available. And there you go. That's a little piece of information I dropped off. Christine M. Anderson wrote, when you are ready. But I'm not sure what that's applying to unless, Christine, there's something to follow that. So I'll watch for it. When you're ready, what? I don't know. Oh, I see. See, I disconnected from my own train of thought. True healing comes when you are ready for it. Beautiful, beautiful, Christine. Thank you, thank you. When you're in recognition that of your ever-present self and that you are ever-present self. In essence, when you're in recognition of your true nature, what some people might call your God nature, your Buddha nature, your inner guide, your ever-present energy of love. And Gabby threaded some of those words together in her book when I was listening to it. Get that? Listening to it, listening to your book. My friends who are very many of them very big speakers would tease me and authors and say, you're my only friend who hasn't read my books. No, I haven't, but I've listened to all of them or most. So true healing comes when you are feeling in total alignment with the universe. This is when you're in recognition of your true nature. True healing comes when you are in recognition of your true nature, your God nature, your Buddha nature, your love nature, and that recognition shows up for us sometimes when we simply allow ourselves to realize that we are feeling in total alignment with the universe. But you know why? Because we are in total alignment with the universe. Because we are the universe. Kind of simple, huh? It's so simple that we don't always allow ourselves to recognize it. So simple that we don't allow ourselves to recognize it. Oh, same here. I heard you on Audible. Great. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, the book is on Audible. When you feel in total alignment with the universe, this is the essence of your inner self. It is what some people say, their larger self. But the point is, we are the infinite self. It's not larger than anything because it's infinite. So it's everything. That's part of what really, I don't have a word that encompasses it. I was going to say, really intrigued me, fascinated me, compelled me. That's better. That's part of what initially compelled me to follow and share Reconnective Healing with the world, because Reconnective Healing is all inclusive. Reconnective Healing is inclusivity. It's not similar to, it's not other than. Reconnective healing is the reconnection of the entirety of healing. So everything we've ever learned or spoken about or explored or studied or are thinking of in the future, even with healing, is fully encompassed in reconnective healing, because it is the reconnection of all that had been separate, which had never really been separate. So it's the dissolving of the illusion of separate. It's the dissolving of the illusion that this healing technique needs to be over here and this one over there, and this one handles this and this one handles that. This is different this way, this is different that way. It's the dissolving of the illusion that there are separate healings, because that illusion and tending to practice certain kinds of healings instead of other kinds of healings, or also other kinds of healing, keep the division. When we allow the division to dissolve, everything reconnects, which is really our recognition of everything as one in healing is present. And all there is infinite inclusivity. In a way, I'm not trying to be trendy using these initials, but when you type in all caps OMG, I think what really caught me about this is it's the OMG factor. Oh my God, it's everything. Because you are everything. And I no longer have to try to find separation, because separation doesn't exist unless we try to find it. I'm going to do healing this way. I'm going to do healing that way. I'm going to do healing the other way. Let that go. Allow for the reconnection, the infinite of everything that is. That's really our desire. Our desire for happiness, peace, freedom, the search even for love, is our desire to what? It's our desire to return to our natural condition, because it is our natural condition. There's an expression, healing without ceasing. Well, you are healing yourself and others both. Let me try it this way. You are healing yourself and others two ways, both when you are intentionally facilitating healings for anyone, everything, and when you are simply going through your life, because you are healing without ceasing. You are healing when you're facilitating a healing session for someone. You are healing when you're facilitating a healing session for yourself. And you are healing when you're buying fruit at the fruit stand. You are healing when you smile and wave at a child, or maybe an older person who's looking a little lonely in another car through the window. Little smile. They smile back. You are healing without ceasing. Why? Because you are healing itself. Okay? So since you are the entirety of healing, you can't help but be facilitating healing. We get in our own way when we start looking for how, because no one can tell you how to be the infinite you that you are. But when we start finding a how, this is how to do this healing, this is how to do that healing, the hows focus us in on one way, and the infinite just disappears. So, who you are, what you are, is healing. Who you are, what you are, is healing without ceasing. You just can't help it. Whether you're intentionally standing and facilitating a healing for someone lying down in front of you, whether you're intentionally sending a healing to someone else, whether you're intentionally facilitating a healing for yourself, or whether you just happen to be going through your day, you see a butterfly, you smile, and someone across the street sees you smile at the pleasure of seeing that butterfly, and they are receiving healing at the same time. You see, you just can't help it. But I don't know how to do a healing. Good. Glad you don't know how. Because as soon as we're willing to not know how, we are limitless as healers, as love. Our desire for happiness, peace, freedom, as we said a moment ago, is our desire to return to our natural condition. We're not returning to being a healer. We're not returning to being freedom, being happy, being peace. We're returning to the recognition of it. We're not doing something to become that. We're returning to our natural condition. It's not something new. It's not something more. It's not something other. It is your natural condition. Peace, happiness, love, freedom, and healing for yourself and for everyone and everything. Searching. We're always searching for something as if it is something other than us. Searching for enlightenment. Where do I find it? Did I leave it under the pillow in the other room? I'm searching for enlightenment. It was here somewhere a minute ago. Where did it go? Didn't go anywhere. You are enlightenment. You're only searching to recognize it, to reveal it to yourself, to unveil it to yourself. So when we say we're searching for enlightenment, it's really kind of contemporary language. Today's language, we're saying we're searching for happiness, but we are happiness and we are enlightenment. So we're really only looking to recognize that about ourselves. And as soon as we recognize it, we start smiling and go, oh, I found happiness. No, you didn't, silly. You never lost it. You are it. So what does all this have to do with healing? I mean, really, what does all this have to do with healing? We think about this, we contemplate this. We think about oneness. We think about unity. We think about happiness, love. What does all this have to do with healing? Well, for starters, as we think about it, as we contemplate it, yes, we do that. Yet it's only when we let go of all the thinking. It's only when we let the contemplation go. That is when we exist as healing, and that is when we facilitate healing with the greatest ease. Okay? All the effort. Yes, contemplation requires focused effort at a certain level. All the effort, even the effort of contemplation, dissolves, it melts away, leaving something. What is that something? And as we look at it, there's something, oh, that something is me. That, that something is me. Yes, Lexi, instead of seeking, we can simply allow. But in the allowance comes self-recognition, recognition of who you are, who I am, who we are. If you want all approaches to healing to be one and the same, then we need to let go of the approach. If you want all the approaches to be one and the same, you don't need me to be here to share with you, which you actually don't need me for anyway, because it's your own revelation, but let's get into that another time. If you want all approaches and forms of healing to be one and the same, then you don't need me here to share with you. I am here, at least in my own perception, to allow you, to allow us to recognize and choose to remove our blinders and the limitations they give us. It's not that blinders don't serve a purpose. They do. It's just not always necessarily the purpose we think. You know, racehorses wear blinders so they go forward, but they don't get to see the whole picture. You can. It's your choice. So if you want all forms of healing to be the same thing, you don't need to be here. If you want to hold on to that, you really just want to allow them to dissolve. Every single technique. I'm here to allow you, I feel I'm here to allow you, to allow us to recognize and choose to remove our blinders, to remove everything that's obscuring and interfering with you, seeing you, feeling you, recognizing you, realizing you, being you, living as you. So when we're saying let all the techniques go, we're saying free yourself. This isn't making fun of a technique any more than it would be making fun of a pair of binoculars. They help us see something, but at some time we need to put the binoculars down. Our techniques serve as valuable lessons. They are here as learning materials. Then we get to let them go. And we get to laugh about it. Oh my God, just laugh about it. It's all the better if we can do this with love and laughter, isn't it? Because laughter means, I get it. That's the freedom. It's not only the freedom we think that we're looking for, it's the freedom that we are coming out. That laughter. Can we laugh at it? When are we holding ourselves back? When we're going, that's not funny. I fail to see the humor in it. You know, and sometimes those people do fail to see the humor in it. There's humor in everything. There's humor in the way different flowers blossom differently. Different roses open up differently. There's humor in that. Love, light, humor. I'll give you an example of humor. I was sitting in a relatively dark room with friends, and I was sitting at their home next to a large potted plant. And all of a sudden, there was a sound, there was a movement like, well, it's an indoor plant, but that movement felt like it could only be made from something the size of a small animal. And I jumped and I looked and I didn't see anything in there. And then I realized what it was. The leaves of that plant, which were near each other, one leaf just at that moment just let go and opened, and you heard it hit the other leaf into another leaf. It was frightening to me. I chose to feel a little frightened or jolted or jumping from it because I had no idea what it was, and it was unexpected. And then guess what? It became funny, really funny. Oh my God, the freedom when you recognize humor in everything, right? What about the humor of when I wrote the first book, The Reconnection? I was thinking to myself, who am I to write that book? And then I said, I know who I am. I am to write what I know, share what I know. Who knew what kind of an effect it would have on the world? I mean, reconnective healing has affected millions, millions of people. Why? Because you need to recognize that you are an agent for change. I am an agent for change. Your sharing allows change, allows people to open their eyes, allows healing. Your sharing blows away the clouds that are blocking the sun. Everything is neutral. Everything we see, everything we hear is neutral. Then we come along and put little signs on it. This is good, this is bad, this is something else. We're just trying to get a handle on understanding everything. What if we give ourselves the gift, for God's sakes, of saying, let me be witness, let me be sharing, let me be part of it. I don't need to understand it. And guess what? I don't. Guess what? You don't. You know? Oh, healing can only be healing if science has proven it. Well, no. It depends on how observant and clear the researchers and the research studies are, but healing remains healing, whether we recognize it or not, whether we prove it or not, whether enough people supposedly in a position of knowing agree, and then they tell us what to believe or what to recognize. Thank God I didn't wait for that. Thank God you don't wait for that, that you allow yourself to recognize what there is to recognize, because that's you. How about seeing ourselves in others? And of course, allowing them to see themselves in us. Do we need a scientific study for that? I don't know. I don't know. But it's the concept of just like me. Just like me. That person who is upset or angry just really wants to be loved and wants to recognize the love that they are. Just like me. The person who is suffering or in pain, they don't want to be suffering. They don't want to be in pain. Can I just recognize it? Yes. I go over and have a conversation with people I don't know? You have to assess whether that feels appropriate in many ways. Just like me, people don't want negativity. People don't want negativity coming at them. Just like me, when traffic isn't moving or the line isn't moving, people have somewhere they want to go. And we have to recognize that. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to know that they matter, but it doesn't always or only come with those words. Part of the beauty of reconnective healing is that we recognize the infinite. We experience the infinite. We can't put it into words because words are matter, the material. And they're finite because they're matter and material. Healing is infinite. Sometimes suffering is really about wishing that we weren't in the position that we are in. When we see that with someone, we can realize that there's suffering, there's pain. Pain is unavoidable. Suffering is a choice, and it has to do with how we view things. It's a resistance for where we are, a resistance to where and who we are, instead of acceptance. Let's move as easily, as flowingly, in a sense you could say as quickly, as smoothly, into acceptance as possible and see things change in your life. Mel 191077 wrote, Eric, is it possible to be connected to somebody you've never met personally? Well, Mel, let me do what is considered impolite and answer a question with a question. Is it possible not to be connected to everyone and everything, although you've not met everyone and everything? We are one with everyone and everything. So yes, it's possible to be connected. It's not only possible to be connected to somebody you've never met personally, it's impossible not to be. It's impossible not to be. Instead of questioning, can we? Let's just be in acceptance of the recognition that we are. You know, I've softened a lot in how I express things. I've softened a lot over the years in how I express things because I don't want to make people feel wrong. And sometimes the way I would express things was with such certainty and volume, and being on stage at a time just makes you seem like, the Wizard of Oz, all the greater power if you don't look behind the curtain. Because it allows us to receive it. But some points just need to be made. And so now I vacillate back and forth on it. Sometimes I'm softer, sometimes I'm stronger. Treasured Time series says acceptance is the key. The understanding of this may mean in the moment as it is. Acceptance is the key. The understanding of this may mean the moment as it is. Absolutely. Being that you are. The being that you are is the same being that everyone is. And knowing this, this non-objective experience is what allows you to recognize, to realize that you are one with everyone and everything. So, thank you for sharing with me today. I greatly appreciate it. I love when you're here. I love when we chat. I love when we're sharing. I love when we're recognizing. So we will see you here next Wednesday, same time. I'll be a little earlier, but same time. It will be 9:45 Chicago time, 10:45 New York time, 7:45 in the morning Los Angeles time, and you can do the math or look at everything that helps us find these times on the internet. Meanwhile, so where you are. Of course, speaking at time, just for punctuation, Treasured Time series says acceptance is key. The understanding this may mean in the moment as it is. And in the moment as it is, there is no time. So Mel says, love you, Eric. Do you plan to come to Germany? I don't have a date or anything presently planned, so we'll see what happens. If there's enough interest there, certainly we will. Whether it's through Reconnective Academy, the instructors there, whether we're able to join them, that would be wonderful. Reminding you that the Direct Path to Healing has just come out less than 1 week ago in audio form, so it's on Audible. If you'd like it to be in the languages of your country, please speak to the book publishers there. If you don't find a book publisher there, speak to one about it and say, hey, can you also put this into an Audible form? I'd like to be able to listen to it. And we'll go from there. Okay. We'll see you here next Wednesday, this time. All my love. Bye for now. Lots of love. See you next week.